This is karma's gonna get you. Gonna knock you right on the head. You better get yourself together. Pretty soon you're gonna be dead.
And now, it's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s around the world. I'm Mosette, and here is your host and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Mosette, and welcome 12s to a special double episode 421 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Rams. So sit back, relax, grab a desired beverage or sin of your choice, and remember, it's Color Rush it, baby! Let's meet the posse for this episode. First from the state of Washington, our very own news hound. His 12-man editorials can be found on the SeahawksSouth.com website. You know him as Shadowhawk. We know him as Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
Doing well. We had 2 inches of snow here last night, so of course it's pure chaos. Yeah.
Ah!
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Snowpocalypse. But you survived okay?
I did. You know, it was tough for a while, but after fighting off the hordes of hungry savages, I managed to make it back home.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm sorry that your neighbor...
Seattle gets metal when it gets snow. It's crazy.
A little bit. They get mental when there's any weather that isn't sunny and 70, it seems to me. But anyway, somebody who's also in the snowpocalypse, also from the state of Washington, a true 12, and we thank him for that. We call him Dustin. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you, Dustin? You surviving?
I'm surviving. I just want to say, Dennis, I'm sorry for your yang. I know your yin is not here tonight, so I'm not sure.
I didn't know you had to apologize for my yang, but I appreciate that.
Nah.
Yeah, the yin to our yang.
That's
we'll talk about that here in a minute. He's not here tonight, so I'll have to do my English accent for him. Finally, our man from behind enemy lines is back for another show. It's our very own Statsman, Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here. And first off, a shout out to Matt. Matt, get well.
Yes.
Of course. And boy, you know what? It is good to be here. It's an interesting time to be in California with between Trump becoming president and Prop 64 passing. Everyone's just in a complete haze, 24/7.
Yeah.
Thank God for that for you guys. They should make that across the country. As you mentioned, you know, Matt is sadly not here. He's currently fighting the flu bug. He's got a bit of a fezziwig. But I told him I would try to use a really bad English accent every once in a while to kind of make up for his loss. So we hope you feel better there, Matt from merry old England. But the ones that are here, let's go ahead and get to this show. It's run like a real NFL football game, 4 quarters and a halftime. The quarter one's going to be a little different this week because it's a special double episode. The first quarter, we're going to talk about the Seahawks-Panthers game and take a look at how we fared in last week's predictions. In quarter 2, we're going to prepare you for the upcoming game between the Seahawks and the Packers, as well as the upcoming Thursday game after that between the Seahawks and the Rams. Because we record this on Friday, there'll be 2 games to talk about between now and the next time we record. So we're doing both those games quarter 2. Halftime, of course, is the best Seahawk-themed play-along trivia game on the internet. 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. And we're all wondering if Dustin can threepeat.
I don't think so. Matt's not here. I can't write off his what he says in the third question. That's been my whole strategy.
That's very true. Well,
Makes it tough.
that's going to make it difficult for you. So
It will.
Matt not being here, it's going to kind of throw you off, but we'll see. Maybe you can threepeat. Quarter 3, we're going to make our predictions, prognostications, and game balls for the Packers game. In the fourth quarter, we'll do the same for the Rams game. Before we start, we'll remind you if you could like, share, and subscribe to the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show on Facebook. We do a great game day thread on there and some other fun stuff we try to get on there. Also, Twitter at Seahawk Positivity, email 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. All right, let's get going to the first quarter.
It's the first quarter, bitches.
Yes, the first quarter of your Color Rush edition. Color Rush edition? The Color Rush edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam. You know, when I think of Color Rush, when I think of Rush, there's only one Rush, baby.
There
That's
you go.
this Rush. Oh, yeah.
A modern day warrior
This is Rush, not some stupid uniform. That's right. All right. That's for Tom Lucas, who listens to, because he's a huge Tom Sawyer fan, Tom. It's for you, buddy. All right.
I always like Huckleberry Finn more.
Oh, my God. Huckleberry Finn, give me a break. So let's go ahead and talk about this game, because 40-7, the Seahawks destroy the Carolina Panthers, and a game that we were all waiting for, I think, Seahawk fans and players. It was a great Seahawk victory. Will, offensively, 40 points. That's 8 scores. That's pretty good. What are some highlights offensively about this game from Seattle?
Well, just the most pleasant surprise. Well, there's a couple of pleasant surprises, but it was nice to see the offensive line bounce back from that dismal performance in Tampa Bay.
Great.
And I think it's safe to say that Justin Britt has had more of an impact than we truly have realized until now.
Agreed.
But overall, I think the thing I enjoyed most was just seeing the running game, seeing Thomas Rawls. I mean, yeah, he had that 45-yard touchdown, and then Lockett had that 75-yard touchdown on the jet sweep. Those were fun, but just play after play after play, opening holes, just getting chunks of yardage. We missed that all year, except for the Niners game, and that doesn't count because of the Niners. But just the ability to run the ball down somebody's throat, and it was great to see, and I think that bodes pretty well going forward.
I agree. Statsman Mark, the rain game was fantastic, but the passing game worked pretty well too, didn't it?
Yeah, everything was working. I mean, that was it. It was just clicking early, and it was nice to see some kind of rhythm, and then converting any kind of third down was like, oh yeah, I forgot we could do that. I mean, in Tampa, I forget we had one third down conversion in Tampa?
Yep, our very last one, we finally converted it.
Yeah, so
but it was a beauty.
To see any conversion higher than 10%, it was just refreshing, and it was just a reminder of what we can do. So it was, and even against a Panther team that's injury riddled and so on and so forth, when you hang 40 on anybody, that's a good day at the office. So.
I agree, and I watched this game second or third time because, well, first off, I just like to watch Cam Newton suffer, but also I watched one where I just would take a lineman and watch, and I really like the way the interior of these linemen are working, and let's be honest, Fant, for a guy who we hear all the time hasn't played professional football, hasn't played football long enough, blah blah blah. He does a pretty nice job at left tackle. Now I'm not ready to give him any All-Pro votes, but the guy doesn't do too bad out there for a guy that's never done this. And the middle three, I think they're fantastic. I think Ifedi's amazing. Glowinski's very good. And I think, like you said, we found out how much we missed Britt. And the tight ends, on that end-around sweep, Nick Vanette, who is becoming one of my favorites, I think a real X factor on this team the next year or two is going to be number 81, Nick Vanette. Just absolutely blows a hole open for Ty Lockett about the size of a Mack truck, and it just massive job of blocking by everybody. Dustin, that blocking is getting a lot better, isn't
it? Well, yeah. It's hard to go anywhere but up from the Tampa Bay game. So
truth.
Now, what I would like to see, because we've seen games where they played well with the blocking, and then we've seen games where they haven't played so well. So I'd like to see some consistency now. Take what they did, build off that, and have some consistency. Because they looked beautiful this last game. Everything was working right. Everything was clicking. And like Will was saying, obviously Justin Britt was a bigger factor than anybody could have possibly thought. Mm-hmm. So
I'll call myself out on that one because I thought Justin Britt was a mistake at center at the start of the year. So, but I don't know anything more than anybody else. But
a lot of people were kind of on the same thing, though. I mean, the guy's changed. This is third position in 3 years. Like, man, they're just throwing stuff on the wall and seeing what sticks at this point. But he's really thrived at that spot. Yeah,
he's definitely stuck and deserves some Pro Bowl votes, in my opinion. Dustin, defensively, obviously, we'll talk about. I'm sure we'll talk about Earl Thomas's injury later, but I mean, defensively, that one play, you take that one play away, it's a shutout. I mean, the defense was as effective or even more effective than the offense, weren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Everything that the offense was doing right, the defense was stopping Carolina from doing it all. So that's everything our offense was doing right. Our defense was stopping Carolina's offense from doing it all. Held them under 100 rushing yards. I think it was like 180 something passing yards. 2 turnovers. They were 5 for 12 on third down, and they only got 7 points. And that was kind of it was kind of lucky in my opinion, because they went after the spot where Earl was, and the guy just got in the game and just wasn't quite able to get back there. And they had a couple guys in the area that probably could have done it if they'd had a better communication back there. But other than that, they held them to basically nothing. So, and it was awesome to do. They didn't really pressure Cam or take Cam down like I was hoping. You love to see that guy get hit. But they got enough pressure on him to where he was super uncomfortable and was not able to do anything.
Yes.
So just the frustration on his face was enjoyable. I ate that up. That was great.
Yeah, I agree. And, Earl Thomas you're not going to ever replace somebody like Earl Thomas.
No.
And Terrell's obviously not going to be Earl Thomas. But, this is still a very formidable defense.
Well, yeah. How many Pro Bowlers, All Pros, everything do we have on this defense already? One player is not going to replace Earl Thomas, but 11 really good players can pick up the slack for him.
Yes.
And they're going to have.
Yes. They're going to have to. You're right. Mark, your thoughts on the defense? What else have we missed?
Well, no, you guys have it covered as usual. I just, again, there was rhythm, I guess you could say, on both sides. And it was, again, even against a Panther team that was clearly really has been on the spiraling down for a while. It's always good to see them just contain everything. There was no huge mistakes, and I was a bit surprised that everything just went as smoothly as it did, even though, again, Carolina is really challenged. But, and we all know we'll miss, ET back there moving forward, but this defense has enough depth overall, I think, to cover that.
Yeah, I agree. One guy does not a team make, and there is no Earl Thomas, but when you have, I think Will said it great, when you have all those Pro Bowlers on that defense and those All-Pros, it's going to be, it's not going to be Earl Thomas on defense, but I think it's still a very, very formidable defense. I agree.
No, and you're not bringing in people that are inexperienced either, because Carroll's played, and they brought back Jerron Johnson, and it's guys that know the system and guys that have actually played. They're not as green as you would think.
Great.
So that makes a big difference. And Terrell is also fast. He runs like a 4.3, so he can cover some ground too.
Yeah.
He showed pretty good range on that one interception that was called
yes, he
back.
did.
I was impressed to see that.
I was thinking about that play. And that was called back on something on the other side of the field, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But he had some nice range, and really even that first play that they gave it the touchdown. He was late, but he wasn't completely baffled. Like, he was there. He was just off a little bit for just coming in the game. That's pretty good. And hats off to Carolina. I would have done the exact same thing. 29's carted off the field. That's where you go with the ball right now. And I would have done the same thing. And that was a great call by them. And a night where they didn't have very many positives. That's one for them. Final question, roundtable. Mark, we had this horrible game against Tampa Bay. We had this great game against Carolina. Which Seahawk team were we going to see Sunday?
Well, one that scores more than 5 points, and one that hopefully gives up 5. No, you know what? It's good. It's the X factor. It's going to lean much more towards Carolina, I think, than Tampa, simply because Green Bay doesn't have really much of a defense of any kind. The biggest thing that they have going is they are so desperate.
Yeah, right.
I did not see them being in this kind of spot after this far into the season, but they're so desperate to win. And so this is a wounded animal backed into a corner with a terrific quarterback, even though this year has been different. But they're dangerous. But on our end, I think we're going to bring more of a Carolina kind of flow. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to score 40 by any means, but I think we're going to be able to establish enough of a rhythm on both sides of the ball again, even under the conditions, even in day and so forth.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's go ahead and let's check our wonderful posse prediction challenge before we go to the second quarter. Yeah, you know how the scoring goes.
Oh dear.
Okay, here we go. First on the scores last week. It's funny. Lil Mo said 36-6, and we all kind of went, "Whoa!" But at one point, it was 37-7, and I was just hoping it would stay that way. But a point to Little Mo for his score. Prognostication: 3 points to Matt, Mike Pascal, and Mark Ty Turner. Mark Ty Turner said 4 field goals by Halchka. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
Game balls: 2 points to Matt, Tom, Statsman, Mark, and Jose for Rawls and Graham. Game 1 for each. And the over/under was over. But we had Will and Statsman Mark and Jose and Tom who had that. Means the scores this week look like this. Matt is the big winner with 5. What?
Wow.
Tom with 4, Statsman Mark with 4, Jose 4, Mike Pascal 3, Mark Ty Turner 3, Will 2, Little Mo 1. The individual scores through the Panther game are like this. Jose stretches his lead over Little Mo for 4 points from 40 to 49-45. Mike Pascal at 40. Mark Ty Turner at 37, Tom at 35. 1-5, guys. That's the other team in first, second, third, fourth, and fifth place. It's finally happened. We've been threatening this, and it finally happened. So here's 6 through 10, or also our team. Dustin, 34, Statsman Mark, 31, Will, 27, Matt, 28, me, 18. A final score through all these games, Team 12, 206, Team Posse, 138. So,
Wow.
Time to play the sad trombone from Price is Right.
Yeah,
70.
we're only 68 points behind, guys. We can catch
Wow.
them. There's not much to say, is there?
We need to fire Hugh Jackson as our coach. And then we'll turn it around next year.
Well, I'm confident that we can. We still have time. There's still plenty of time left in the season to erase a 68-point lead, I'm sure. So,
Or make it larger.
yeah. So that being said, we're going to have to know about the games coming up. So let's go ahead and end quarter 1.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, that's the end of the first quarter coming up on this episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Lots of show left. Halftime trivia, but coming up next, we look at the Packers and the Rams. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Straight up now, shoot me.
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
All right, welcome to the second quarter of a special double episode 421 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, Color Rush Edition. Hey, are you addicted to that rush? Are you addicted to the rush, guys? You guys know who this is? Mark, you got to help me out. Any idea?
Wow. Sounds like a really bad movie.
Oh, no, man. It's Mr. Big. You don't know Mr. Burt, Big?
No.
I got nothing.
Oh, my God.
Wasn't he on Sex in the City?
Oh, Mr. Big. That's Addicted to That Rush by Mr. Big. Billy Sheehan on the bass, if you know anything about music. Best bass player ever. And that's the only thing that was to that band was the bass player, but that's another story. But they had another hit called, I don't know. It don't matter. Anyway, Addicted to That Rush. We're addicted to the Color Rush, but we're also now going to move on and talk about the upcoming games. And I say games because we record on Fridays, so between this recording and next week's recording, the Seahawks will play 2 games. They'll play a Sunday game at Green Bay, and then they'll come back home Thursday for that Color Rush game. So we'll talk about the Packers first. Here's your tail of the tape of the Packers. You can see how they match up there. You know, Packers look pretty decent, actually, all things considered. Offensively, 24th run offense in the NFL. And their defense, statistically, is a lot better than I thought it would be. But I don't know how those numbers really mean at this point. But we'll move on to the injuries with Dr. Dustin. Dr. Dustin, what's your key injury for this game?
It's got to be Earl Thomas.
Yes.
I don't know what else it possibly could be, and who knows how long he's going to be out. But that the tibia fracture is hard to figure out because we don't know exactly where it is. A tibial plateau fracture versus a mid shaft fracture is different, and it looked like he caught that knee pretty high up on his knee, so it could be tibial plateau. Non-surgical is a good thing, but I don't know, man. It's going to be a while. They put him on IR, so obviously it's not something they expected him to come back from anytime soon.
No,
so
I don't think I'm not expecting that either. And it is a big injury, but I think this defense can kind of next man up, and we talked about that a little bit in the first quarter with Terrell, and I think we'll be all right there. I don't think there are any other injuries, are there, Dustin? Nothing
Nothing. I mean, Brock Coyle's out again.
Yeah.
Morgan is.
But Morgan's back, right?
Yeah, they held him out for practice a lot this week, more due to soreness, it sounds like, because he hasn't played for a while. He's expected to practice fully on Friday, but it's kind of an issue if he gets hurt. And with Coyle already being hurt, we don't really – I don't know what they would do with strong side linebacker at this point. I don't know who they'd plug in there for that. So they'd have to rearrange things with what they're doing. But so that's a possible issue.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be Pierre Lewis, I would guess. That's a guess.
Could be.
He would be stepping in, yeah. Will, what's the weather going to be like in Green Bay on Sunday?
Well, it depends on who you ask and when you ask. Pretty much everybody agrees it's going to be below freezing, probably low 30s, high 20s. Some reports say trace amounts of snow or snow ending by game. Others say it could be snowing like crazy all game long. So you're just going to have to tune in to find out, because nobody seems to figure out how much snow we're going to get.
No, and sadly, Edna has not told us what to wear, but we imagine Edna would say something like, heavy coats and
layers. Lots of layers.
Edna would say layers. Yeah. Lots of layers. Statsman Mark, this kind of weather benefit us or the Packers? Obviously, the Packers live there, but as far as pass versus run, does this give us a better advantage?
Well, I think that that Rawls on our end, I think that Rawls, his footwork is so good that even in snow, I think he's going to be able to navigate and still pop runs. I expect him to have a huge day. Green Bay, yes, it's home. Home field. I don't know what their home record is this year. I would think it would be better than their road.
Well, they're 3-2, I believe.
Ooh, okay. Well,
they've had two losses at home.
They're just not the same team for any number of reasons. But again, they are dangerous. On their end, it's just really they need a huge, massive day from Rodgers, and he can do that in this kind of weather. So it is interesting. Mm-hmm. But I think on our end, I think Rawls is going to have a huge day. I think he's going to run all over this team.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of the anti-Panthers, and this is what I mean. Panthers and Packers both are coming to play Seattle with their playoff lives on the line, and they're already in playoff mode. The problem is their leaders, and with the Panthers, I can feel free saying this, and we all want to say it, and I'm just going to throw it out there. I work with a lady who's a diehard Panther fan, and she told me after the game, she said, that kid is such a child, referring to Cam Newton, and that's a fan. Calling he's such a child. Dennis, he's such a child. I said, I know, he's a child. And that's not Rodgers at all. Rodgers is going to, help that team get in a playoff mode with their backs to the wall. Rodgers is going to try to make plays and be successful at it. This is not Cam Newton leadership. This is Aaron Rodgers leadership. And so for that reason, I call it the anti-Panthers game, because they're very similar in that they're looking to their quarterback to take charge in this, do or die situation in the next 3 or 4 games. And the Packers have a much better hand dealt to them than the Panthers, in my opinion. So we will see. Dustin, your thoughts a little bit on this game, and not what the key of the game is, but just what do you think this game means to the Packers and the Seahawks and along overall over the season?
Well, I think it means a lot more to the Packers than it does to the Seahawks, because the Seahawks have a couple game lead in their division. They're basically just trying to stay ahead of Detroit for the number 2 seed. That's really what they're focused on as far as rankings go. The Packers, they lose this game, it could very well end their bid to try and get into the postseason. So it means a lot more for them. They're going to be coming at us. They're going to be going after it. But I just don't know that they have enough on defense to really stop us from what we want to do. I know weather's a big neutralizer. It's a big factor that eliminates a lot of speed and things like that. But if we can get running like we did last week, I don't think that's going to matter too much, because in that point we keep their best unit off the field. If we can run, we're not even going to see Aaron Rodgers a lot if that happens. So
right. Well, everybody talk about the running game, and I think that's a valid point, but that secondary of the Packers is pretty beat up, isn't it?
Yeah, there's going to be plays to be made. That's for sure. Basically, we can't afford another Tampa Bay game or Cardinal game or Rams game. We're going to have opportunities. We've got to capitalize on them, and I think we can, and honestly, I think we will.
Yeah, I do too. I'd love to see us. To me, you look at the next 3 games. You look at Rams, Cardinals, and 49ers. 2 of the 3 of those are home. If we win this game, there's a realistic, not crazy chance that we go 12-3-1 for the season. And that means, and I know, Saturday Mark and I were talking before the show a little bit, but I think that means also that, the Cowboys better not stumble out going to the gate. And they haven't so far. But again, these rookies, you don't know what's going to happen the next 3 or 4 games with those guys. And so far they've passed every litmus test down there in Dallas, but now comes the fun part, because the season gets very real for them the next 4 games into the playoffs. And if they were to stumble, they better not stumble too far, because at 12-3-1, if we can run the table, things could get very interesting up there at the top.
Yes, they could.
Yeah, so we'll kind of leave that at that, because that's putting the cart way ahead of the horse. But let's go ahead and let's talk about the Rams now. It's hard to talk about the Rams when we haven't played the Packers, but Thursday night they play the Rams at home. The Rams are 4-8. They have statistically the worst offense in the NFL. Statistically, their defense is number 10, but their running defense is 21. So their defense isn't even very much of what it used to be. Mark, what stands out to you about a matchup against the Rams, who's beat us 3 games in a row? We all know that.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, they're just, it is just the same old with them. They have a 3-game winning streak. I mean, this is one that we just, boy, I mean, we owe them, not only to beat them, but to hang a 50 burger to send Jeff Fisher. Oh, wait, no, they extended him, didn't they? Wow.
Yep. Well.
What?
Oh boy, so that's good news. I mean, that's a nice forecast, because boy,
Yeah,
I used to be a fan of his, and now I think he's kind of a dirty coach and everything. But anyway, regardless, Goff is playing. The defense has been lit up lately, or at least they were in New Orleans. Was it
Yes.
49 points.
Yeah, that's an awful lot. It's just we're playing them at a much different spot. They're still going to be scrappy because they always are against us, but I mean, one way or another, we just got to win that game, and they're just kind of limping along as usual. But until otherwise proven, they've had our numbers, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it's funny. Well, I was thinking about this today, and this used to be the rivalry, and it's never been a rivalry. And Matt Hasselbeck used to point this out before. I think the Rams won 8 or 10 in a row against us, and then we rolled off 10 in a row against them, and now they've done 3 in a row against us. And this is not really a rivalry, is it?
Well, it's a very bipolar one. I mean, one team or another is on top for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So.
One team goes off their meds, and it all goes to hell.
That about sums it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And Dustin, I know you're probably going to be there. I just hope to God for the color rush that the Rams don't wear the yellow color rush, because if we're wearing those green things and they're wearing their, oh God, please just go white. I hope they just go white.
The phlegm bowl.
Yeah.
Well, they were ketchup and mustard last year because they played Tampa Bay, and remember Tampa Bay had those bright red ones, and it looked like ketchup and mustard. And I just hope
they haven't done.
Those are their color rush jerseys, though. That's probably what they're going to wear.
Most of them this year, they've had one team wear all white and then one team do the color. They've had a couple where teams were both wearing colored jerseys, but usually it's been one colored, one white.
They just need to get rid of the whole thing of Thursday night football period. But anyway, that's a whole other show.
Hey, shout out to Chris Balding. Shout out to Chris Balding on the website. And I have always thought this, and Chris put it on our website. We were talking about Color Rush. If it's going to be Thursdays, guys, you do Throwback Thursdays. You play the teams in their throwback jerseys. That's what you do. It's Throwback Thursday. I mean, that just makes too much sense for the NFL, I'm afraid. But Chris Balding brought that up, and I thought that's genius.
The problem is they'd have to amend their rule of helmets, because you're only allowed to wear one helmet the entire year. So they'd have to append that rule and make it to where they could wear their old school helmets.
Well, they can wear the new
jerseys.
school helmet with the old school jerseys. Why not?
No,
that'd be terrible.
That just would not work.
That would be terrible.
If you want to keep hosting the show, Dennis, you're going to have to change your opinion.
That would be terrible, but the crap we've seen on Color Rush is okay.
It looks like Crayola crayons playing each other.
Oh
That's what it looks like to me most of the time.
Yeah, anything but Color Rush. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I saw the jerseys in person. I've seen them on, the videos. I kind of like the green. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to lie. I kind of like the Color Rush jerseys, but I tell you, I wasn't a fan of our jerseys we have now until the first preseason game when I saw the players in them playing. And I said, okay, now I like them. So I'm going to we'll have this discussion next Friday on the Color Rush, but I'm holding my judgment on them until I see the guys actually playing in them before I say yay or nay.
I was the same way with that. I didn't like him at all when I first saw him, but then once I saw him in person and saw him on the field, I liked him a lot more. It was the same thing with the Color Rush. I saw that jersey and instantly I was responding on Facebook to the post that Nike put up. Like, I will never wear one of those ugly ass uniforms. Then I went to the game and I saw him in person, like at the pro shop and stuff. And I was like, you know what? That's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's not. It's nothing like.
It's the pants. The green pants are going to be too much, though.
Yeah. It's the neon green eggs and ham that they got to try and get people to swallow.
Before we go to halftime, I have to know. The whole world needs to know. Will Harrison, will you be wearing your green Hushmanzada jersey on Thursday?
No.
All right. Yeah, I had to throw that. I'm sorry, Will.
Yes, I own one.
Yes, we talked about that on here before. I'm sorry, Will. I had to bring that up. I hate to bring up Hushmanzada and those green uniforms. Those were hideous.
That's hanging in my closet as an object lesson. So.
Man, I was at that game and we're playing the Bears, and a buddy of mine is a Bears fan. I brought him to the game with me. I had no idea they were wearing those. They come running out wearing those things. He turned and laughed and pointed at me, started laughing in my face. Like, what the hell are they wearing?
Well, there's
I don't know.
When I come up to Seattle and there's this huge group, we all hang out and stuff, and Will knows what I'm going to say. There's this gray Sean Springs jersey that it's an old school Sean Springs jersey that's gray, and it looks hideous. It looks just dirty, and when we all go up there and stay together in hotel rooms, there's a large amount of us and everybody's luggage is out there, and someone always gets that thrown in their luggage unbeknownst to them, and they'll come home and they'll unpack their luggage and lose this ugly Sean Springs gray jersey staring at you in the face. And so that thing has gone all around the world. I don't even know who has it right now. Well, do you?
It's literally been around the world because Dino had it for a while.
Yes, he did. I don't know who has it now. I haven't seen it for a while, but we don't have the prettiest jerseys all the time. But we'll see Thursday. I'm holding my judgment out till Thursday. So while we're pondering what jerseys we are going to wear on Thursday individually, let's go ahead and get ready for halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime!
All right, that is halftime. Coming up, a lot more show. Will the Seahawks win Sunday? Will there be cheese served with the wine? Will there be ties involved? All these answers and more are just around the corner. But first, it's another edition of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. Coming up next.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
This is Dustin. Thanks for listening.
Hello? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her.
Yes, it's halftime, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of the best play-along Seahawk-themed trivia game show on the internet. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. And here's your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity. Yes, thank you, me, and welcome to another wonderful edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia
Of the world!
the trivia game that tests the knowledge of both our posse and our listeners. Our contestants of the posse themselves, Will, Statsman, Mark, and Dustin, and here are the rules. So here's how the trivia game works. There'll be 2 rounds of questions. Each contestant answers 1 question each round. If they get it correct, they get 1 point. After 2 rounds of questions, there'll be a final trivia question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, then the tie players go on to a special secret overtime question where the winner becomes reigning 12-man Fan Jam Show trivia champion and also gets a prize chosen especially for them. As an added bonus to those listening on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel, the questions and possible answers will be displayed on your screen so you, the viewer and listener, can play along as well. If you do, please let us know how you did on the questions. Remember, there's no Googling, no phone a friend, and please, no wagering. However, there is a lifeline. Before taping this show, my 2 charming Seahawk fan children, Mosette and Little Mo, did take the quiz as well. If the contestants want to know what the kids said, they can ask that but once and only once during the entire game show and only in the first 2 rounds. Now let's get ready to play 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. All right, gentlemen, you know the rules. You can ask the kids once out of the 2 rounds. 2 rounds, 1 question each. First round, the topic is the Packers. The Packers. And of course, there are 2 football questions and 1 non-football question. Dustin, you are the champion. Do you want 1, 2, or 3?
3.
Dustin wants 3. Statsman Mark, you're in California. You want 1 or 2?
Number 1.
Will, you're number 2.
I want 4.
Tough.
Okay.
If you get a question right and everyone gets it wrong, you might get your chance. All right, here we go. Mark, your question is not a football question. All right.
No.
Here we go. Right out of the chute. And
Boy.
your question is this.
I am looking forward to thinking about Molly Ringwald movies.
Because of the Packers?
I don't know. I just threw that out there.
Yeah, I know. Here we go. It's about cheese. How many pounds of milk is required to make 1 pound of cheese? How many pounds of milk is generally required to make 1 pound of cheese? Is that 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or 15 pounds? And dance!
How many pounds of milk? Is that what you said?
Pounds of milk is required to make 1 pound of cheese. Yeah, I know. Pounds of milk. I don't. Must be an English thing.
Okay. 5, 10, or 15?
That's correct.
Jeez. Wow. Boy, where's the power of Matt's guesswork?
I know.
I'm going to go middle and say 10.
Middle, he's going to go middle and say 10. Well, Mosette said 5. Little Mo said 10. You said 10. It's 10!
Oh, my goodness. The power of the Matt guesswork came through.
Mark is on the board, everybody.
Madison Bumgardner gets a hit. Here's my batting.
Hell,
right.
I made my own cheese with a single carton of milk one time.
You didn't have
Not intentionally.
I second guessed that. My initial thought was 5, and I go, no, you got to channel Intermat, and Intermat came through.
Intermat came through. All right, Will, channel your Intermat. Here you go.
All right. What college did... No.
Your question is, last time the Seahawks played the Packers in Green Bay, how many touchdown passes did Russell Wilson have? 1, 2, or 3? And dance!
I am... 1, 2, or 3?
Yes, how many touchdown passes for Russell Wilson last time the Seahawks played the Packers in Green Bay? 1, 2, or 3? Just last year, remember? That awful start? Yeah.
I know, yeah. It's I know it's not 3. I'm going to go 2.
He knows it's not 3, so he's going to go 2. So number 1 can piss off.
Yeah, 1 is the loneliest number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Mo said 2. Mosette said 3. You said 2. Yeah, it's 2.
Huh. Woohoo!
Oh, and Will's on the board as well.
We actually led in that game in the fourth quarter, which
Yes,
still
we
astounds
did.
me.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. All right, Dustin.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this question. Okay.
Probably Rams question, I assume.
No, it's Seahawks and Packers.
Oh.
The
okay.
first time the Seahawks played the Packers in Green Bay, it was 1976. How many interceptions did Green Bay quarterback Lynn Dickey throw? And yes, I put this in just so I could say Lynn Dickey. How many interceptions did Lynn Dickey throw against the Seahawks in 1970? 1, 2, or 3?
Well,
Lynn
as soon
Dickey.
as you said it, the number 3 popped in my head, so that's what I'm going with.
I said Lynn Dickey, and 3 popped in your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Nickname was Shrinkage.
I thought it was Tiny.
Green Bay.
Oh, we're 12. All right. You said 3. Little Mo said 2. Mosette said 3. You said 3. No, it's 2.
It's rigged. It's all rigged.
2.
Recount.
Dustin falls behind. All right. So this means the next questions are the Rams, 2 Rams questions and 1 non-football question. And we'll start with Mark. Mark, 4, 5, or 6?
6.
Mark says 6. Will, 4, 5.
I told you I was going to get 4.
Yep, see? And that means, Dustin, you have to take number 5.
I don't even know which one number 5 is. I'm lost after 2.
It's after 4, but before 6.
You never saw Short Circuit?
Number 5. Number 5 alive.
Johnny 5, that's right.
All right. Will, you have a football question.
Woohoo!
Oh, not yet. All right.
Premature organ.
Just kidding.
Just hold on. The first time the Seahawks hosted the Los Angeles Rams was 1979. Who was the Rams' leading rusher in that game? Was it Lawrence McCutcheon, Elvis Peacock, and Wendell Tyler? And yes, I did this question just to get Elvis Peacock on here. The leading rusher for the Rams in that game: Lawrence McCutcheon, Elvis Peacock, or Wendell Tyler?
Wow.
There's a trio. Do you remember the great McCutcheon, Peacock, Tyler trio?
All 3 of those guys were pretty
Who
good.
doesn't, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm tempted to go Peacock just because you had to put him in there, but I'm going to go McCutcheon instead.
All right. Yeah, was this not the team that Vince Ferragamo took to the Super Bowl 79? I think it was.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going with Peacock?
No, McCutcheon.
Or you're going with McCutcheon? Just
I thought about going with Peacock, but that seemed too easy.
Right. Well, Mosette went with Elvis Peacock, and Little Mo went with Wendell Tyler, and you went with Lawrence McCutcheon. Sorry. Wendell Tyler, but not by much. Check it out. Wendell Tyler had 86 yards on the ground, and Lawrence McCutcheon had 82. Weird.
Oh.
And we had -7, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. Yeah, it was not a good game.
That is not a lot.
Not a good game for us.
That is not a lot.
That's not a lot.
No me gusta. No me gusta.
Oh my God.
Everyone
Dustin.
gets that one?
Oh, we get it.
Yes.
Yeah, it means I don't like. Yes.
So what
Well,
movie
I grew
was
up
he
in-
from?
He's not wrong.
What movie is that from?
I don't know. I grew up in Pasco, though, so that's why I know that.
Team America, World Police.
Oh my God.
One of the greatest
Classics.
comedies ever.
I'm so lonely.
Oh, God. Epic.
Dustin.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a football question.
Sweet.
Mark, you know what that means. All right. Number 5. The only time the Seahawks beat the Los Angeles Rams in Seattle was 1991. How many interceptions did Jim Everett throw for the Rams? Not Chrissy Everett, Jim Everett. How many interceptions did Jim Everett throw for the Rams? Was it 1, 2, or 3? Remember that Chrissy Everett thing, him and Jim Rome? And
That was great.
That was
awesome.
fun.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that, actually.
That's Jim Everett, not Chrissy Everett.
Knocked him out of his chair.
Oh, yeah. How many interceptions? 1, 2, or 3? How many did
I
he
don't
throw
know.
against Seahawks?
3 interceptions did not work for me last round, so I'm going to stick with 3 interceptions.
It
Nice.
didn't work.
What's
I'm
the
gonna do it
definition
again.
of insanity, Dustin?
Yeah,
We're about to find out. It depends
Yeah,
if it works
insanity.
or not.
You know what? Obviously, Dustin works for the front office of the Rams because obviously it's not working. Let's rehire him for 3 more years. All right. Mosette said 1. Little Mo said 2. You said 3. It was 2. It was 2.
Both times,
Oh, both times it was 2.
it was. Seems bullshit.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Hey, watch your fucking mouth.
Sorry.
Hey, we got a little girl dancing right now. All right.
I forgot. I apologize.
That's all right.
Sorry.
We're sorry. Mark, your
Yes.
question is not a football question, so get excited. There was a show called Beverly Hills 90210. You familiar with that show?
Oh, Jesus. I got to call my sponsor right now.
Isn't that the one with like Pacey and Dawson?
Yeah, right. No. That's okay. So, the show story is there are these twins, Brandon and Brenda, okay? And they moved to live in Beverly Hills. So my question is, where did the twins Brandon and Brenda move from to live in Beverly Hills for the original TV show Beverly Hills 90210? Did they move from Boston, Chicago, or Minneapolis? Where did the twins move from to Beverly Hills?
You know what? For as much as I bemoan and really have bad flashbacks about that show, it was a difficult time for me. No, you know what? Amazingly, I know this.
Oh, wow.
It's actually, this is like the most no-brainer question I've had in like 3 years.
No way!
So it is, in fact, Minneapolis.
Wow.
They are, it's ice fishing background, and
what's scary is I knew that too.
It's scary that
apparently you guys are big Shannon Doherty, Luke Perry fans. I had no idea.
Shannon Doherty has always been so disgusting. It's
Yes,
just like,
agreed.
oh my god. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, but Mosette said Boston, Little Mo said Minneapolis, you said Minneapolis. Yeah, all right, you got it. That puts Mark at 2, Will at 1. That puts Dustin at 2, which means we might have overtime, but we'll see. For the record,
actually, I'm at 0. The answer was 2 both times. My question.
Yeah, he didn't get it.
No, but if you get 2 points for the final answer, you could tie Mark, and then we have overtime.
You were foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the record, I'd like to point this out. Last week, Little Mo was 4 out of 6 on the questions. This week, he was 5 out of 6 on the questions. And the only one that Little Mo missed was the Russell Wilson one, which, I mean, of all things to miss, he missed the most recent game that we talked about. But all right, so hats off to Little Mo for that. Here's your final question, guys. It's an
Siri works really well for him.
It does.
Don't let him start. Don't let him start playing, Moses. He'll kick our ass in this too.
Basically. Yeah, I probably will. The final question's over under. Closest one without going over gets 2 points. If everyone's over, the closest one to the score gets 2 points, and we do have that potential for overtime. So we'll see. The question is this: the order we will go, obviously, will be Dustin, Will, and Mark.
Obviously.
And the final question for all of you is this. Start with Dustin. It's the last time the Seahawks played Green Bay, in Green Bay against the Packers. How many penalty yards did the Seahawks have in that game? Dustin, how many penalty yards did the Seahawks have against the Packers last time they were in Green Bay?
I'm sure it was too many. Because I'm sure.
That's right, you win! Oh, sorry.
Oh, sweet. I will say they had. I don't know. It's Pete Carroll. They have a lot of penalties under his teams. I'll say 93 yards.
93. Will?
I'm gonna go triple digits and go 105.
Okay, Mark.
Wow, 93, 105. I'm gonna say 85. I'm gonna go
85. All right. I must point out at this point. Dustin.
Yeah.
Do you have any sharp objects around you?
Oh.
Oh no.
You might want to remove them because the answer is 92.
Wow.
Ah, hell.
Guess what? It's Barracuda time. Finally.
Oh shoot.
Finally. Mark,
Oh my goodness.
Mark,
Hey, Dustin,
you won.
welcome to the club.
Right.
92.
Oh man, why didn't I just go one under him? I don't
Oh
know.
my God, Dustin, stay away from the sharp objects. Congratulations, Mark.
I channeled my inner Matt, apparently.
Little
No,
Barracuda
you
for
channeled
you.
your inner Will.
I was trying to hit it
There
right
you
on
go.
the nose, and
Well, congratulations. You got it anyway. You didn't get on
Good
nose.
job. Good
Dustin
job.
said 93, and I'm like, oh, hide the silverware. All right. It's been another crowd-pleasing, heart-stopping, award-winning edition of your 12-man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. We'll be right back with the second half of this show after a quick station identification. Hart, take us out.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter.
Yes, welcome to the third quarter of your 12-man Fan Jam Show. Hey, you! Yes, you recovering from an amazing Panther victory. Like or comment on the video. Join us on Facebook at 12 Man Fan Jam Show Facebook page. Email us, tweet us, make us part of your Seahawk fix, and do it quick. Just wear a tie when you do. Okay. Before we move on, I would like to once again congratulate Statsman Mark on a win. Congratulations again, Statsman Mark.
Boy, well, in the spirit of the Cubs, I came a very unexpected win.
Well, it did, and it comes with an unexpected prize as well. I've been wanting to tell you this, but for winning the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Trivia this episode, you get a special prize, and that special prize is you get yourself a Seattle Seahawk cheese cutting knife. That's right. Feel free to cut the cheese whenever you want with this wonderful Seattle Seahawk cheese cutting knife. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll bring my mask. Sorry.
Cut the cheese when you need to. All right. Let's move on to that cheese game. The Packers, prediction, prognostications, game balls. Current line, Seattle 2.5-point favorites. The over-under is at 46.5 for our purposes. Mac would be laughing right now if he was here. Disclaimer, these numbers are presented for entertainment purposes only. Don't listen to anything we say, blah, blah, blah. All right, predictions. Here's how we're keeping score. You know that. Here's Team 12's predictions. Little Mo says 34-23 Seahawks. Russell throws for over 200 yards, and he gets the game ball. Jose, score for this week, 31-23 Hawks. Prognostication, Rodgers gets more passing yards than Russell, but Russell gets more touchdowns. Game ball, Baldwin with 2 touchdowns. Tom, 27-10 Hawks. Rawls, more than 100 yards rushing. Game ball to Rawls. Mike Pascal, I love this one. Seattle winning 20-16. Prediction, a blocked kick by one of the teams. Either team will block a kick.
Oh, we can do that?
Well, a blocked kick is pretty unusual, yes. Also, he predicts, his prognostication is weather cold as balls. So, there's his prediction there. Game ball.
Blue balls or regular?
Yes, well, I didn't ask. He can tell you later. Mark Ty Turner says we put on a great show Sunday afternoon. Seahawks win 28-27. Baldwin 2 touchdowns, and that's his game ball. Now it's time for Team Posse. First, Matt's picks. Green Bay will lose 28-20. Bit of a fizzy-wig. Stephen Terrell would get a pick. And the game ball will go to... let's give it to Russell Wilson. Check out that leg work, he says.
Russell Wilson. Okay.
Yeah, Robert Russell Wilson. All right.
That was awesome. That accent.
Thank you. That's
horrible.
one
word for it.
My God. Mac, I hope you feel better soon, because I can't do this again. Statsman Mark!
Yes, sir.
What you got for us?
I am going to say, against the Packers, this is going to be a 27-20 Seahawks win.
All right.
And I'm with, I forget which one picked Rawls. I spoke to you earlier about this, so you know that it's true. That I'm going to say Rawls
Sure.
over 100 yards rushing and 2 rushing TDs.
Okay, so you want the 100 yards rushing or the 2 TDs to be your thing?
I was going to say both, but I guess
No,
I
just do
choose
one.
one. Okay, 2 TDs rushing.
Yeah, just do 2. Just do one.
Yep.
All right. Dustin, what's your prediction for the Packer game?
Well, since we can do this now, I'm going to say both teams will score, definitely.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
Where's the
That's
drum?
block
That's a
kick
great one.
now.
That's a
It's
great. Where's the
block
drum?
kick.
Yeah.
You need a boom.
All right. So no, for real though, I'm going to say that it's a weather game. I think it's going to be kind of a low scoring game. So I'll say the Seahawks are going to win probably 17-13. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of offense, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I think that the offense.
Hey, wait. Are you being honest with me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I had to think about it, but yeah, I am being honest with you.
Okay.
And I think that running is going to be a huge part of it. And I think that Rawls as well will be the MVP of the game. He gets the game ball. And prognostication will be that I'm going to say Tyler Lockett's going to have another big play like he did against Minnesota in the snow last year. And he's going to go for over 50 yards on a reception.
So Lockett over 50 yards reception. Okay.
Yep.
Will?
Yes, sir.
What do you got for me?
Well, Matt and I actually have the same score. I'm going Seahawks 28, Packers 20. I'm not going to say that in a horrible attempt at a British accent, however.
That was awful. Yeah. Me.
Okay.
It was really nice. It was like your French accent.
Only more so.
Yeah, only worse. Only more so. I like it.
So I'm going to give my game ball to Rawls as well. My prognostication is I think we have to get after Aaron Rodgers, and I think we will, with at least 4 sacks on the day.
Woo! Okay. 4 sacks.
That's a really good one, actually, with the sacks thing. I was reading something that said Seahawks against Aaron Rodgers. He averages like 204 yards or 209 yards per game against us passing, and we've sacked him 14 times since Pete Carroll's taken over. So we sacked the hell out of that dude. Yeah, so
that's pretty good.
Let's hope we keep that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, if you were in England, if he got sacked, that just means he was fired from his job. So
the crazy thing, he's
unlike Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
And he's only thrown 5 touchdowns against the Seahawks since Pete Carroll took over, which is surprising.
Yeah. Unlike Jeff Fisher, kids, you know Jeff Fisher got an extension. What do you think? I know. You got to love it. All right. We're celebrating Jeff Fisher's extension. We'll do that fourth quarter more. My turn to make my prediction. Seahawks coming to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field on quite a roll. The Packers have hardly been a tough home team, going 2-2 the last 4 at home, losing to the Cowboys and the Colts. The Seahawks in this game, they win if they take care of the ball, and I see this happening. Watch the Seahawk defense cause Rodgers to force bad throws. My prognostication is 2 interceptions for Aaron Rodgers. Watch my game ball Rawls, there's a theme here, chew up the frozen tundra and spit it out in a huge way, in a huge game, and watch the Seahawks roll as they win by a score of Seattle Seahawks 31, Green Bay Packers 20. All right. Well, that's the end of the third quarter.
It's the end of the third quarter, bitches.
Yes, coming up, time to make our predictions, prognostications, and game balls for the Thursday night game, the Color Rush. You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Always remember to wear a tie. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, everybody. This is Statsman Mark. And when I'm not listening to Charo's greatest hits on 8-track tape, I'm listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show.
Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Oh, yes, it's time for the fourth and final quarter of this episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Matt, that's for you, buddy. All right, hey, let's talk about the Color Rush game. We have a special request for Mark over in California. This one's for you. It's Paula Abdul, Color Rush, called Rush Rush.
That song is as brutal as the Rush uniforms themselves.
That they are. This should be what they play when they come out on the field on Thursday. Rush, Rush. My goodness. Wow. All right. That's a special request all the way from California for Statsman Mark. All right.
It's sad how Paula Abdul has turned into Judy Garland. So,
Statsman Marks writes into the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, and he says, Dear Moses, I need to hear Rush Rush by Paula Abdul.
That's Shadow Stevens or Casey Kasem? Who are you channeling right there?
Sure is. Yes, it sure is. All right.
Oh, okay.
We don't have a current line for this game, obviously, because they haven't played the game before it. But I went ahead and put the over-under at 41.5 points just because I'm being silly. So, the disclaimer, don't use our numbers for anything, for entertainment purposes only, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to the predictions. You know how we keep score. All right, Team 12, Little Mo. You're going to love this, guys. Little Mo says 40-3.
Whoa.
Yeah. Graham, 2 TDs, game ball to Graham. Jose says score for the game against the Rams, 16-9. Prognostication, we stop a fake field goal. 16-9, and we stop a fake field.
Okay.
You stop a fake field goal attempt.
I'm sorry, I thought you said 69. Like that's only one score,
69.
Dude. Sorry.
Dustin writes in, Dear Moses, 69. 16-9.
All right.
We stop a fake field goal attempt, and the game ball to Averill with 3 sacks. All right. Tom says the Hawks are going to break the Rams' hold in us in a big way. 27-6 Hawks. Graham, 100 yards, game ball to Russ. Mike says Thursday Night Football score, Seattle over Rams 31-16. Prediction, Goff sacked 3 times or more. Game ball to Rawls. Mark Ty Turner says Thursday night we shit the bed against the Rams again. Hawks lose 6-10. Bennett has a monster night with 4 sacks, and we'll give him the game ball. All right. Time for Team Posse, and now it's time for Matt. Bit of a fizzy-wig. Matt has a brilliant choice here. He has the Seahawks winning by a score of 17-14. 2 big turnovers for the Hawks in the second half of this ugly, ugly game. And the game ball to Richard Sherman. This game is uglier than most English cuisine. So, and the game ball to Richard Sherman. All right, Statsman Mark. What you got?
I'm captivated by the accent again.
Yeah, there's another name for that.
It's amazing.
I don't think captivate is what we're
Matt
going
and the
for.
friends, dude, you got to do a greatest hits and send it to Matt.
Brilliant!
Yeah, so the Ram game. Let's see here. I'm going to call this one 27-16 Seahawks. And I'm going to, I'm going to say that Wagner will get a pick, and he'll get my game ball.
Now, true story, guys. When I was in high school, and I was in the school play, we did a play, and you had to do the entire play in an English accent. That's all I'm saying. And so I'm well trained in theater and in languages. All right.
Well, I haven't heard such range since Kevin Costner.
Right?
This is refreshing.
That was an insult. Dustin.
Yeah.
What you got?
Rum and Coke.
All right. What about your scores? You goofy kid.
Okay, yeah, it's a Thursday night game. It's a national televised game. I think the Seahawks are going to get out of their own head as far as the Rams go and perform this time. I think they're probably going to win 28-13. We'll say 14. We'll give the Rams 2 touchdowns.
Hey, they're going to get out of their head and perform. That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It seems like the Rams they have their number for some reason. It's going to be out of their head. They're going to get past that.
All right.
And then we'll start our 3 or 4 game winning streak. We'll be on the positive end of the bipolar spectrum here. And then I'll say that the game ball is probably going to go to Jimmy Graham. I think he'll get a couple touchdowns. I'll say 2 is my prognostication.
Okay. That's what Lil Mo said, so you can't go wrong there.
True. I hope his score is right, though.
Yeah, I do too. Will, what you got?
Well, I got to lean more towards Little Mo than Mark Ty Turner because I to steal a line from Samuel L. Jackson. I have had it with these mother Rams on this mother team, and I think Seattle has also. And I think it's time to unleash a world of hurt. Score prediction: 37-0 Seahawks.
Oh, nice!
Nice. There you go.
Prognostication: Thomas Rawls and Doug Baldwin both get 2 touchdowns each.
Wow.
And game ball goes to Michael Bennett, who is going to welcome Jared Goff to CenturyLink Field in his own unique fashion.
That was Bennett, was it?
Yeah, Bennett.
Okay, all right. I like it. Mine's kind of along those lines, too. 3 in a row. 3 losses at the hand of the Rams. Well, no more, I say. No rookie quarterback's going to come into our house and throw a rock in the playoff machine in December. The Seahawks win this game if they just do what they do in December in Seattle. Dominate! Rookie quarterback, our house, December. Playoff implications for us. I like our chances. Watch the Seahawks end the curse of the Fisher as our defense allows less than 300 yards total for the Rams. That's my prognostication. Our game ball Russell Wilson continues to cause for whispers of MVP to surround him. And we lift that curse as they win by a score of Seattle Seahawks 34, Los Angeles Rams 9. Well. Looks like it's time to bring another wonderful and amazing 12-man Fan Jam show to a sad close. We are so glad that you decided to waste some time with us, and we certainly hope you laughed a little, and maybe, just maybe, you learned a little something along the way. And what did we learn during this show? Well, we learned that Dustin feels sad for my wang. We learned that Mark channels his inner Matt when he needs it. Will relived a poor uniform choice from the past. Dustin was honest with me.
Mhm.
And we also learned that I have many, many great accents. So, on behalf of my partner in crime, Mariel England, Matt, wherever he is, our newshound, Shadowhawk Will, Statsman Mark, Dustin as the Beaver, Roger Goodell, Elvis Peacock, Lynn Dickey, Mosette, Little Mo, Buddy Hackett, Sheila McRae, Art Carney. Good night, everybody, and go Hawks!
Go Hawks! Damn it! Now I've got that Paula Abdul song stuck in my head.
Rush, rush.
With a Emmy,
Straight up, now shoot me.
Emmy award-winning performance by Keanu.
Oh God, Keanu
That-
Reeves
in
in
that-
the video.
he was in the
What?
video.
He was in the video.
Yes.
What?
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.